Alright folks, welcome to another league. Trying out the same list. Maybe we should be going back to another Night of Autumn. I just don't know what I would cut for it. And I don't know how of a widely played tech the Shrine of Burning Rage really is. Because losing to Shrine of Burning Rage sucks. Doesn't happen often. Sometimes they just get you. I have been overall happy with the list. This is definitely a flex slot though. Alright, let's go. We have been paired for our league match. Mulligan that. Probably keep this one. We could be playing against Burn, and maybe the shock here is going to be an issue, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, so we're playing against some form of Scape Shift or some form of Ren deck, which is a terrible matchup. Like, I guess Ren is not that bad, but... So what's brutal about this kind of matchup is the fact that we have no way to stop their inevitability, and it's really tough for us to raise their inevitability as well, which is not where you want to be, obviously. So usually my experience is that we beat control decks that don't play Nexus of Fate, Wilderness Wreck, etc. We beat the decks that they don't when they don't have that, and we lose to them. In fact, I think Scape Shift is this deck's worst matchup. I'm gonna Spring Bloom here. If it gets countered, it gets countered. Don't care too much about it. Thalia can be dead. Yeah, Thalia doesn't line up particularly well against Ren and 6, obviously. No, I misclicked. God damn it. I'm an idiot. I obviously wanted to. Ugh. I'm an idiot. Well, definitely hoping I don't continue punting like I am right now. God damn it. I think I'm gonna pass here. End of turn with Vial and the Dryad. Did it just not play my land too? What am I doing here? What the hell am I doing here? Sure. Play this. Play this. Play both of these. Play this one. Say go. Alright, I mean, my opponent is gonna need to do stuff here now. That Reclaimer was not a terrible draw. If they have a bolt, they can combo it, but like we can make the Reclaimer 3-4 if we need to, thanks to both of these fetches. So they can like minus Ren. They have a Cryptic in hand. They already made a land drop. This reminds me a lot of Tansiven's Lancey Value. Yeah, it's kind of nothing like it. It doesn't play at all like that. I think I'm ready to start upticking one of these. Double creatures, draw. So now we sack this. Go get a Valakut. Valakut kills Ren. We do have 9 damage at instant speed. But if they have something like Scapeshift or whatever, we're probably going to be quite dead. However, if they don't answer our Dryad, we can percent lethal. Again, we lose the Scapeshift. Alright, that one we don't actually lose to, so that's fine. So we're actually playing against not Scapeshift, but a Reclamation deck. Okay, so now we actually win. Sweet. So this one stays on 3. This one ticks up to 5. That's a great draw. Just doubles the damage output. So now they actually cannot beat this. Always yes. Awesome. Winning game 1 is huge. Winning game 1 is absolutely huge. Just fetch for any land, opponent dead. Sweet, all right. Like this one, we like these dudes. And that's kind of about it. We have Scavenginus. I have not played this matchup since I have Scavenginus in my deck, so we're gonna see how that works. Gargus can go, and probably Radium Fountain can go. Great hand. Great hand. Oh, even better hand. I think we're still supposed to Vial on 1. Because now we can Thalia plus Reclaimer on 2. Which is pretty great. We run into a Remand. Hopefully they have Mana Leak instead of Remand. But if they Remand me, they don't Growth Spiral, so that's a fine exchange in my opinion. Alright, this is great. Maybe Ashiok end step. That's my opponent's idea. Oh, Ashiok next turn, I mean. Alright, so we're looking very good here. We got to untap with Reclaimer. Now we're gonna get the Reclaimer engine going. We can put Dryad instant speed. We have Bog if we need to, or we can simply just keep on looping Flagstones. So I think that we're in really good shape here. Yeah, this hand just had every piece of the puzzle. And we're probably gonna be calling for Knight of Autumn. Bolt my Thalia. In response to that, I'm going to violate another Thalia. And I'm going to like keep this one. Bolt resolves. Just owning my opponent every step of the way. Just everything lined up perfectly, I guess, what my opponent was trying to do. To be fair, I think that my opponent's keep was kind of sketch. So now they actually cannot kill the Reclaimer. So I think, like, if they play Reclamation, we actually just win. Opponent draws their Bolt. For anybody wondering why I like Aether Vial in this deck so much, in case anybody is still wondering about it, okay, this is just my opponent not knowing the matchup or whatever, but this is just like straight up a punt, right? For obvious reasons. All right, that is usually a very bad matchup for us, but my opponent just kept hands that were non-functional, which definitely helps. And we had turn 1 Vial both games. Why did we fetch first? I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have. Yeah, I don't know why I fetched first. Turn 1 Valakut, turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Dryad. There's probably no way that I'm ever playing Witness on 2. The record today is 3-3. Utopia Sprawl. Okay. Brutal. It's actually a nice Thalia there. And now next turn we can Dryad plus Reclaimer. Which is pretty sick. We can't get Blood Moon. Well, that's pretty good sequence for them. Can't Vial there, unfortunately. I guess I don't want to trade the Thalia. If I were to trade, I would probably trade for the Arbor Elf, but then we get mooned. So I'd like to... basically tax my opponent. So if they want to moon me, they can't bolt my Reclaimer and like stuff like that. Scavenginus is mildly annoying, but my opponent needs to moon me right now or answer the Reclaimer, or they are just going to lose. So that's the nice part. Did I invent this deck? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, so they have the extra mana source, which potentially makes things a little bit more annoying. But they still need business here. That's a lot of mana that that Wolf is going to make, though. Yeah, that's a problem. So I think I'm just gonna E-Wit back the Reclaimer and just cast it again. Unless I draw land, in which case I'm probably going to... Oh, wow. So I can clear my opponent's board now? Seems important to do, honestly. The problem is that I don't get back the Reclaimer if I do that. So do I want to clear the board here, or do I want to potentially do more stuff next turn? I think it's more important for us to clear the board. So the way that this is going to work is we want to E-Wit this back, we get our land, we say yes, we play this first, and then we play this one. So that's going to trigger Valakut. We're going to choose this one. The way the triggers stack, we want to put this trigger on the stack first, targeting the Scavenginus. So now the Valakut is actually going to see 6 lands in play. So Temple Garden. Now this is going to trigger once again. So always yes, always yield. And now this can kill the Arelf. I made it, but yeah, I've been, since I created it, I've been a big fan of the deck. Vial Demystify. Yeah, that's it. I made a video primer if you want to check it out. Basically explained everything about the deck that I thought was worth explaining and that I could fit in a 2-hour video. Bloodbraid. Okay, so Point needs to get lucky here. Point needs to get lucky. That is okay. That's not bad. It's not like backbreaking, but it's actually not bad for them because now this is gonna be a big dude. Also, like the Vial version. Yeah, the Vial version was, I guess it was originally inspired by Zach Allen, and then Dom Harvey took it to the next level. It kind of developed from there. Yeah, it's just another way that you can build a deck. It's nice. So, Titan wins. Fetch land is good. Fetch land is good. Titan actually just wins. Raminap also just wins. We actually have a lot of... that one doesn't do anything. What's the name? Eladamri's Call would have also won there. We got ourselves a nice little top deck war going on. I think my top decks are better than my opponent. The problem is that now that the ooze actually untapped, now a lot of my top decks get blanked. Like Cole is not immediately lethal anymore. Ramming Up is just a do nothing card now because my opponent has all the mana in the world. So we still have a fair amount of just bad, straight up bad draws. And my opponent also does have a few of very impactful draws, actually. Blood Moon is impactful. Oh, why did I did that? I should have just blocked with Thalia. That was awful. That was so bad. That was such a bad block. I had a free block with the Thalia on the Blood Braid. I just let my opponent kill one of my Dryads for no reason at all. Of note, if these had been actual lands instead of vials, they would have been significantly better draws. So here we actually do see a little bit of the cost of playing the vials, right? So we saw a match on the last in the last match. We saw how the vials shined and how insane they were at allowing me to win that game and just like stay ahead of my opponent the entire time. And here we're seeing the other end of the spectrum. We're seeing a matchup where if this had been lands, we would be in significantly better shape. So it's just like everything, you know, you're just basically choosing your poison and you're kind of making the choices that make the most sense to you. So this is 4 plus 4, it's 8. Up to 11. So I think I have to actually chomp this Eternal Witness. I mean, we still have draws that win the game on the spot. Particularly if my opponent taps out to play this Bone Crusher. Alright, so Ramming Up, Primeval Titan, Illidanbre's Claw. All of those are insane draws right here. We need one of those. Flagstones. Flagstones kills the ooze, which is the biggest threat at this very moment. Yeah, and we have to kill the ooze again because we need our top decks to be the best that they can be. So I'm going to be blocking here, blocking there. And now my opponent has a lot of top decks to just win them the game. That is one of them. So now we have a situation where it's Titan or bust. So now we are in a Titan or bust situation. And it doesn't even... Too late. Alright, that feels bad. Like we had so many turns where we had multiple draw steps that would have won the game on the spot, but that would have also been pretty solid. Yeah, so this would have won. This one would have also been very good. Yeah, okay, we just said. Just had a bunch of things that could have taken us out of that spot. Yeah, I did kill the other Dryad for no reason. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake on my part as well, obviously. I am not minimizing the fact that I also did play pretty poorly. This is a very interesting matchup in that I really struggle to figure out where I stand regarding the other Vials in this matchup. Usually whether I want the Vials or not is pretty straightforward overall, but this is the one matchup where I'm really not sure whether I want this card or not. We could also side a couple of them out, or cut one maybe. Let's actually try Shaven. Let's just cut them all and just play as if my opponent were playing a John deck, right? So let's see what happens if I sideboard as if my opponent were playing something like John, for example. Thank you for the follow, DBC player. I'll keep this. The good thing about this kind of hand is it kind of forces your opponent to not develop their game plan, because they are pretty much forced to kill this Reclaimer on turn 1. Used to play Advanced Spirits. Often the number of vials was 3 to give reasonable chance of turn 1, but less chance to draw multiples. Yeah, I don't think that this really applies here. I think we just pass here. Also, I think I maybe should have gotten Flagstones there. I was trying to visualize how the rest of my turns would look like, but Chandra. So let's get Celestial Sanctuary here. Purge this. Play Dryad. Play another land. Sicko. Using Blood Moon to ramp. If my opponent has Boil, they got me. But I think it's worth trying to go for that there. There was definitely an argument for sacking Devalakut there. 5 mana. Glorybringer. Yeah. Man, Glory Banger. It's crazy how much better Glorybringer is right here than Gargaroth, right? Imagine my opponent had played Gargaroth there instead of Glorybringer. That's pretty good. Haste is very theoretical. Yeah, I don't think that haste is what matters. What matters is that my opponent just was able to kill my dude. This little guy over here was just winning the game by itself, right? And my opponent like was able to use a removal spell that didn't cost them a card. Like that's a really powerful effect. That's a really powerful effect. So I don't think it's so much of the haste, it's more of the fact that they can kill your stuff. Killing stuff is powerful. Just have it all. They just have everything. Am I in a situation where I just need to kill the Scavengers here? I think I might be. And I just need to draw like another removal spell for the Glorybringer. This is brutal, man. Alright. That one plays 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one plays. So I guess that I cannot take edge my opponent because I'm gonna need everything for next turn. As long as we don't get mooned here. If we get mooned, we are dead. Pillage. Yeah, that's also pretty fucking good. Yeah, my opponent's just drawing a little bit better than I am. Yep. They're drawing just a tiny little bit better than I am. Just a little tiny bit better than I am drawing. What's up, Wusa? Pretty rough. Pretty rough. I don't think that matchup is overall favored for us. But yeah, I mean, my opponent's draws just lined up so well against mine. I don't think there's too much else to be discussing there. Like both games we were put in situations where we had I have no idea how many draw steps to find something good off the top, and we just drew blanks after blanks after blanks. That didn't feel bad though. Like it. On the other hand, if my opponents are gonna be playing the, if they're going to be playing the, I have no idea why I fetch here, just for x6 value. If they're gonna be playing the pillage Molten Renew game plan, then I don't know how excited I am about siding out my Vials. I think my opponent just learned that Flagstones is a legendary land. They also sacked the wrong one. They should have sacked the Flagstones for sure. Keeping the Vesua gives them more flexibility down the line if they find a bounce land. If I have to bet, I would think that my opponent is actually on the version without vials. And Thalia is a complete waste of a card here. Usually this matchup is all about who finds Dryad first. And whoever does is going to end up taking over. Yeah, my opponent is just new to the deck and they're getting familiar with the play patterns and stuff. Because that's just not a good play at all. I don't think I'm gonna have time for tracker. So we'll just do this. Let's get our point. So I imagine they have Titan here, otherwise their play just doesn't make sense last turn. They did miss a land drop. For what it's worth. Okay, so they have it. Why wouldn't they play a land last turn? I guess they had to naturally draw it. Oh no, they did hit the land drop, never mind. Did they? No, they didn't. No, because they grazed on one. Yeah, so they missed the land drop last turn. So this has to have been their top deck. No Titan? What the hell? We're gonna draw here. We have to find one of our haymakers. Wait, what? I am so very confused. Gonna be calling on end step. Not sure what for. I'm not sure what I'm gonna be calling for, but I'm gonna be calling. Alright, I guess Thalia was doing stuff there. I guess I'm gonna have to go for Titan. Or we're gonna lose to a Dryad. We're gonna get to out zombie then. We're going to get to out zombie them for what's worth. Do I just have to luck sack here? Yeah, they're not playing Vial. Do I just have to luck sack here is the question. 6, 7, 8. I think I have to go get Dryad, and I need to top deck a Valakut. Draw Valakut one time. Easy game, easy life. Hate me so much. I mean, you can hate me, or you can slow down and figure out that I made the perfect play. I made the only play that plays around what I think that my opponent has, and I was rewarded for it. So it wasn't lucky. It was just the correct play, and I just got rewarded by it. So I don't know. Yes, it's lucky. I did get lucky. I'm not saying that I didn't get lucky, but like what I'm saying is like it's very easy to dismiss that as, oh, Fran just got lucky, when in reality it's just like Fran made the correct play. He played to his outs and he got rewarded for it. So I think that a lot of people would have just gone for Titan because it was the most appealing line, or the most mana efficient, or however you want to call it, but you have every right to hate me. That's fair. You see, and they did have the drive, so I would have lost. If I had gone for a Titan line, I would have lost. Now I'm still in bad shape. I am still in bad shape because my opponent's gonna be able to answer my opponent's gonna be able to answer my Dryad. So I'm still not in good shape. But because of the line that I chose, I didn't lose the game on the spot. So it's very easy to dismiss this as I got lucky, when in reality I just played around what I thought I had to play around, and I got rewarded for it. So my opponent's playing a packed version, which is interesting for sure. Well, that's brutal. That sucks. So here we have to wait until my opponent chooses targets. Once they do choose targets, now we fetch. Guess I'm gonna answer one of their zombies. Okay, so now we have to draw another Dryad or another Illidanbri Skull. We do have some clues to be cracking, so there's that. What's up, Chief? How's it going? Does that meme still work? It often works, right? So they go for Thalia and Face. Okay. That's interesting. Like, Thalia is not doing anything on this board. Alright, so if we draw an Illidanbri Skull or something like that, I think we're going to be pretty favored. And if we don't, I think that we're going to die. Because we're probably dead next turn. We can crack this to kill the Reclaimer, so it might force my opponent to need to draw, basically. Boil one time. That's funny. Unfortunately, that doesn't do it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assuming that I crack this Blast Zone to kill their Reclaimer, and they have to use 4 mana, can this Primeval Titan stabilize? But the Reclaimer goes and finds the Listening Sanctuary, so it needs to die here. So we kill there. We have 5 mana, 6 with the castle that we're forced to play. We don't even have mana to crack. So we have to use 2 mana to crack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can stabilize if my opponent doesn't find a fetch land. So we can either Primetime plus Castle. I think I'm going to go for Broke, right? I'm going to try to go for Dryad again. That gives me the highest likelihood of winning. Dryad. Oos. Doesn't do anything. That also doesn't do anything. Okay, so now call is no longer a draw. Oh no, never mind. Now now this doesn't work anymore. Man, that sucks. All right. We're technically not dead. But we die to any land and we die to any... no, just any land. I guess we die to Titan. How many of the new Mythic Greenland are you going to run in Amulet? Between 2 and 3 to start with, and then I'll take it from there. We lose to many, many things here. They just have Titan. Alright. Feels bad, man. I feel like I navigated that game pretty nicely. Feel like I navigated the game pretty nicely and it just didn't work out. This has a path to a Dryad. I think I'm gonna keep it. And we naturally have the Valakut too. As I said earlier, Dryad is the most important card in the matchup, so even though this looks very slow, the fact that we're on the play and we have a path to a Dryad with Valakut makes me more excited about keeping this. Dislike that card. Well, I guess we play that one now. We might need to watch out about. We might need to watch out for Boyle. Actually, that was a sick draw. Such a sick draw. Sick draw is sick. Such a sick draw. So I'm probably going to be trying to play around Boyle by being able to leave in mana so I can path my own drive if I need to. Oh wow, my opponent has the proper Untitled Chapter. I'm so jealous. They found Primeval Titan. Well, I mean, I do like the way that this is developing over here. It's definitely looking good for me. So we get another Flagstone. Yeah. We're gonna have enough mana to do everything that we want here, so I'd rather hold that path in case I need to. I don't think I'm gonna be using this path, but having access to the flexibility is nice. Okay. Temple Garden. We're definitely gonna get Valakut here. Alright, so here comes the Titan. But we have Dryad and we have Path. So I think I like our position better than my opponents by a lot. Radiant Fountain is an interesting fetch there. Okay, so call for Dryad. Oh, sweet. 1, 2, 3. We Dryad. 1, 2, and 3. We Courser. Oh, did I miss lethal? I missed lethal. I'm an idiot. Whoops. I forgot that they are at 18. God damn it. I am playing so poorly. God damn it. I'm stupid. I hope I don't get punished. I literally just missed lethal for no reason. I could have pathed my own thing. Stevie's good. Reclaimer's good. And they play out their land for no reason. Sounds good. I think you're practicing to play Looper on the game just to tilt opponent. Alright, we didn't get punished for my idiotic play, but still. Feels bad, man. So here we had a bunch of looks for any land. It just came up on the same thing, but yep. We just had like 3 looks between the clue that we cracked, the shuffle, just the natural top deck, then the shuffle, and then the clue cracked. So yeah, we had many looks there. That's why I went for it. On the draw, is this better? I think Path is gonna be better than Scavenging Ooze. Still love me for who I am. Oh, thanks, dude. Love is in the air. Can't really keep this one. No early Reclaimer. Okay. This one actually does have an early Reclaimer. Turn 1 Reclaimer is so busted. Man, they have had Gracer every single game. I'm still not convinced that's even good. We're gonna be able to call for a Reclaimer if we want to. Not a good draw. We probably have to call for Reclaimer. Unless they have Mind Sensor, which they don't. You're gonna have Dryad going though. Yeah, we're in a lot of trouble. That's a problem. That's a very real problem. They don't have flagstones though, and they also don't have land drops, so that is at least a glimmer of hope for us. Particularly because we have access to Dredge. Knight? No, I don't think that we can really afford to get Knight. Because if we get Knight, then we kill the Dryad and my opponent still has Reclaimer that I'm not answering. Like, I need to actually pull ahead somehow. I think we're gonna have to try to go the Dredge route. And try to keep my opponent down on lands that way. If they have something like Mind Sensor, we probably can't win, so... You have to be kidding me. They have Mind Sensor? Oh, come on. Fuck, man. That's just ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. Okay. How do we beat this Mind Sensor? I think we just have to take up this Blast Zone. But then they can Reclaimer. Gonna be able to Reclaimer for... I think I wanted to be able to Titan next turn. I don't think that's gonna win. I don't think Titan is as good as cracking Blast Zone for us. Wait, what? I almost misclicked. Because Titan loses a lot of value without the... Okay, so they have Titan too. So we're gonna have to draw exactly Path to Exile here. That's not a Path to Exile. Alright, so we're just dead. We're just dead. Man, we would have won. I think we beat what my opponent has if they don't have the Mind Sensor. Mind Sensor was literally the only out that they had at that point. Yeah, I can't beat this anymore. I feel so bad, man. Stupid Mind Sensor. Losing to my own tech sucks. Some mixed feelings, you know? Some mixed feelings. Some mixed feelings. We could try play a little bit with that deck, see what happens. I think that the prowess matchup becomes a lot better when you're playing that list. The issue that I have with that deck is I just lose so badly. Every time I tried that deck, I have just been completely destroyed. I don't know if I get very unlucky or... Anders Boberg. I think this is a Dredge player, if I'm not mistaken. Nice mana base, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons why Vial is important in this deck as well. This is the version without Vials. I'm down to trying other people's lists. Togores just... we were discussing on Twitter about some things that he'd been trying. So if we find probably Fetch Land or Temple Garden is our best draw here, so I can Thalia onto. That would be great. And then on turn 3 I can just ooze plus double green mana. Wow, that's insane! That is insane. Wow. Like, the only reason to do this on your main phase is because you might find exactly Gruul plus Crip and Chill. Like, that's literally the only reason to do it. That's really funny. They found the exact thing. Crazy. Is this a reunion? This sounds like a reunion, which means that we're probably fucked. I mean, they can whiff here. Yep, they did. Sweet. All right. So they only found a thug. So here we can ooze plus eat 2 things, or we can Thalia. I think I want to Thalia, right? And I want to hope that my opponent doesn't have a land. I think I'm supposed to hope that they don't have a land. So I know their hand is Thug plus Imp. But I think I have to ooze the Ox. So we have to just hope that they don't have a land so they can get back the Helix. Yeah, okay, so they have it. Alright, so I think we just lose now. I mean, if they use all their mana to conflag, we still have Ewit to get the ooze back. We might still be in this. Yeah, I think that we are still in this. Thanks to Aether Vial. So our best draw at this point is just green sources. Vial doing some serious work right here. Snow cover forest sublead the best draw. Yeah, like any forest or like Temple Garden or whatever. And I guess it's strictly better for us to draw a snow forest than the actual forest. All right, so they figure out the conflag thingy. We're getting conflagged. Still have 2 cards in hand. Well, I guess that we have to eat this Mighty Helix. This is sorcery, right? Yeah. Oh no, we don't have to eat this Mighty Helix. It's gonna make the use into a 4/4. So they didn't dredge anything of relevance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they dredged an Imp. But we're fine here. And I think this ooze just takes over. I think I'm taking the 3 damage here. We can take the 3 damage or we can block with Ewit. They can't dredge without mana though, so I think I'm gonna block with Ewit. They only have 2 ghouls in the yard, so we can eat them both and we can prevent all the amalgams from coming back. Okay, so they drew a card. And the dredge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so double Imp. No Narcoviva so far. Completely crazy that they have not found an Archamoeba. Super, super weird. Reunion. It's a really good last one for them to have there. So we let this go. And now we have to eat all the chills. So my opponent needs to dredge 3 chills. They don't have enough chills. I think this is just it. Oh, and Archamoebas also count, I guess. Archamoebas bring back amalgams. Oh, wow. That's brutal. So they need to draw to find exactly this, right? Because this brings back all the amalgams now. So I guess eating the amoebas is better because it delays the amalgams. It means that they get the 3 ones back. How many ghouls do they have? Just the 2, I think. 1, 2, 3. No, they have 3 ghouls. So we need to find the green source. Oh man, they found exactly what they needed. This is so frustrating. I think I have to eat the chill. I need one of the amalgams. So it chill. Eat one of the amalgams. That sucks. So we have to beat 2 price amalgams and 2 Narcomoebas, which is beatable. Okay. So this one. Guess I'm gonna. No, I'm just gonna keep both of them on 3 for this turn. Next turn I can start digging up if I need to. Field. So they just have 3 dredgers in hand. Oh, man, we're 1 green short. Well, I guess they can't cast the Ox because they deck themselves, right? This is not a May. No, it's not a May. So they actually, the Ox doesn't matter. So we eat the chill there. And their hand is 4 dredgers at this point, so I guess that I just eat this mining helix. They only have 1, I think. Yeah, they only have 1. So I just eat this mining helix now, and then they can't gain life and they can't get back the ghouls. Then we chump here, we take 3, 4, 5. And we don't even need to attack them, we just deck them. Just... Yeah, I can have a look at Amalgam if I want to. It's probably better, actually, you're right. Super weird build of Dredge. They don't have 4 Narcomoebas. They only have 1. All 4 chills are gone. Only 1 conflag. Hardcast Imp. Makes sense. Maybe the last 2 cards are Narcos. I guess that's possible. Oh, hello. That's CC mode. I think nothing from my sideboard really matters, right? Nothing from our board actually matters. But our main deck is kind of okay. When is Zendikar out of mono? I think it's next week. Maybe Eidolon? Seems super marginal. Thank you, Noobfragger. I don't think I care about these. The 1-for-1 removal spells. At one point, Dredge players were playing like Magus of the Moon or actual Blood Moon. So Celestial Purge made more sense back then, but now doesn't feel like it does anything. Luis en el top 8, impresionante. Voy a mandar un mensaje después. Purge takes Ox too. Yeah, I'm not so concerned about Ox though. How do we feel about... So these are the only two like marginal cards that I would consider. I could see arguments for either one of these. They're not good arguments, but like I also have trackers in my deck that I don't want and I would like to cut. Even ramming up is kind of sketch in the matchup. And Knight of Autumn is also sketch. Any tips for the Infect matchup? Are you talking about, do you want tips for Titan Vial or do you want tips for Amulet? I'm gonna go with Core Fireworkers on the play. It's bad, but they seem, or the draw, sorry. They seem better than Tracker. Path over Trackers. I don't like Path. I don't think that I want to be playing Path to Exile. Path got better since they don't play gas anymore. Green White Titan without Vials. Hope for the best. I don't think that's gonna be a good matchup for you. This version has Thalia, so that helps a lot, but can I keep this? No, I can't. It's just slightly better, but still not good. Also, I should have... they have one mountain for sure, but I should have definitely checked if they had another one. Guess I want green sources in case I draw Scavenging Ooze. So I guess I'm gonna bottom the Valakut. We're totally gonna naturally draw it. I'm gonna be very sad. I'm gonna Reclaimer and Boggy Sweet. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. Alright, that's one mountain gone. Yes. Alright. I'm not gonna think that they only have a single basic. If I knew that they only have a single basic, then I would definitely go squatter them. Okay, that's not particularly threatening. If they have Reunion here, that's a problem. Loam. Okay, that's not so much of a problem. I can leave with a loam there. Let's go get a basic forest. Let's play Thalia and say go. Mountain, Meyer. Minus Meyer. Now they have a loam in hand. Smiting Helix the Thalia. That's probably really good for us, right? So when they loam, in response, I'm gonna eat the Forgotten Cave, so my opponent doesn't have the engine going. They also have the Flame Axe, that's fucked. I guess let's just eat the loam. That's brutal. So Mesa and Meyer. These. Once again, Vial working overtime here. Truly, I'm a good title player. Thank you, Magus. Thank you. Am I supposed to eat this loam? They have another mountain, so this means that they have another Lightning Axe? Oh no, that means that that's the last fetchable they have. Yeah, I feel like I have to eat here. What, do I? No, I think this is better, because if they do have another cycling land in hand, I know about Mountain, Bloodstained Mire, and Arid Mesa. I think I'd rather just let them untap. And if they want to dredge the loam, that's fine, if that's how they want to spend their turn. I have 2 green sources right here that I can draw. Because I can just go squatter myself. Yeah, so they're declining to dredge there. Smiting Helix. Oh, Hardcast Chill. This is fine. This right here I can live with. Yes. Huh? Alright, so now we have a bazillion green sources. Sweet. You get a green source. I get a green source. Everybody gets a green source now. Alright, sweet. That was a nice game. Definitely got really lucky to double deck that Eternal Witness there, but both of those games were a great showing for the Aether Vials, by the way. Both of those games could not have been won without the other Vials. 60% win rate gamer. Yo. Yo. Be respectful, okay? That was a fun match actually. Pretty intense. I don't judge people having less than my 85% win rate. But you are the best player in the world, Magus. Everybody knows that. So attempting to compare ourselves to you is just a futile effort. Right? So what do we think of Skillsmate Deckable? I mean, it certainly looked great in that match. Certainly looked great in that match. It was significantly better than Scavenging than Steve would have been. So there's that for sure. Opponent. Oh, it's Shadow. I'm gonna have to get Vial going. Hitting land drops would be sick. Thoughtseize. Shoot. Well, there we go. Just wanted to thank you for recommending Vial. What an awesome deck. Played it for the first time tonight. It was intense. Are you resuming your legacy stream in the near future? That's a good question. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to be streaming more legacy. Since the meta traders is modern this month, I am like a little bit more incentivized to try to play some modern. But I still love legacy. Something tell me that this Reclaimer is gonna die right about now. Dismember. Temur Battle Rage. That's a lot of damage there, huh? Okay, so we're down to 5. Ah, oh boy, that would have been a pretty solid draw, huh? Does that mean we're dead? Yes, it does mean that we're dead, right? If I gain 2, that's lethal. If I exile their yard, that's also lethal. Yeah. This is not a good matchup for either Vial. We're talking about like good matchups for Vial. This one is not one of those. So we do this, we cut this one, we cut these. Eidolon is interesting. I think I like Follow better. Nerdy beer, thinking about Follow. Eidolon tracker, you know, we're Eidolon 100% of the time. I don't think that's that clear cut. I would say so if we were playing against Grixis, maybe. Even against Grixis, like the Shadow decks are very different than Jund, in that Jund wants to grind, while the Shadow decks they can grind, but they cannot grind as well as Jund, obviously. But they also want to get you dead. Particularly, my opponent's playing a Monastery Swift Spear deck, so if any player that's playing Swift Spear, it's planning on playing multiple spells on the same turn. So the White Swift Spear is just not a good card otherwise. So I think that against any Swift Spear deck you want to consider. Particularly because the matchup is not going to go long against a Swift Spear deck more often than not, right? I don't bring in Damping Sphere against Prowess. I do bring it in against Storm. And I do bring it in against Amulet. It comes in against Tron. What else? Ad Nauseam. Damping Sphere is actually a quite flexible. A pretty flexible silo card. So if we get to untap with Reclaimer, we can probably get something going. If we don't get to untap with Reclaimer, that means that my opponent didn't play creatures, which is also potentially good for us. Best stop deck regardless is probably Flagstones. Flagstones would be really good, yeah. Alright, push. Probably call for Dryad here. Would love to find a land drop, sorry. Are we supposed to get Scoos? There's no way, right? No, we just get Dryad. Highest upside, obviously. That's honestly kind of a brutal draw there. Because it kind of incentivizes me to hold on to this Valakut. But can I hold on to this Valakut? I think we have to pass, actually. Because if they answer my Dryad, then I can play a tracker, but I cannot get value from it, which would be devastating. And this is why I do think that Eidolon is actually a defensible card to be playing. It's because like my opponent can now like Shadow plus Goiv, which is just not a thing that they could be doing otherwise, right? With an Eidolon in play. Might actually just be that here. Is there any punishment besides castle? That's kind of it, unless like stuff like that, for example, like if I had known that I was going to be drawing a Windswept Heath, then we could be cracking a clue this turn, right? Well, I'm playing on chump blocking here with the tracker. Like, this is my avenue to victory. This is not my avenue to victory. So, since I'm playing on chump blocking with the tracker here, I want to make sure that I have everything, basically. So, we don't lose to TBR as is. Could be going face, but... Oh, that worked? Oh, sick. Alright. Not gonna attack, because if I get to untap, I'm gonna win regardless. Down to 7. What is my opponent's hand? Okay. Is that premature? No, they knew about the Titan in my hand. They had thoughts. They have inquisitioned me earlier in the game, so they knew that I had a Titan, and if they cannot answer the the Dryad, then of course the Titan is very much lethal. So it's not necessarily premature. All right, last game. Most definitely a question I'll keep, but with my opponent keeping 7, I think they're just making sure that I can hit my land drops and I can cast any spell that I top deck. Puts me in okay spot. All right. It's pretty interesting how this deck has seen a significant uptick, and I have no idea why. Is this deck matchup against Shadow very good or something? The Shadow against Prowess. The matchup against Prowess. Shadow against Prowess. What am I even saying anymore? That's a weird thing to do. Reclaimer. Terrify your face is such a strange line. Why would they just randomly terrify my face? Like, what's the point? Alright, survival is the name of the game. Survival is the name of the game. Ciao, Kusan, how's it going? Dismember. Okay. I mean, if this is their entire turn, I don't mind this too much. If they had Dismember for 2 and then gotten... So let's play a Reclaimer here. And next turn, like, we can call for Dryad here. If we untap with Reclaimer, we can call for Dryad. And then we can trigger Valakut, thanks to these Flagstones. If this Reclaimer survives, of course, which is not very likely with my opponent having 4 cards in hand. If the Reclaimer survives, number 1, or if I survive, number 2. 2 things need to happen, which are not particularly likely. Alright, that's really good for us. That's very good for us. Probably naming Valakut. If you're playing basically any deck ever, please don't bring this card against any Amulet deck, any Titan deck. It's not gonna do what you want it to do. This is a card that is gonna answer Tron and nothing else. But this is not a good card against basically any Titan deck at all. Thoughtseize. Of course they have the Thoughtseize, because we could have played around the Inquisition, but we can't play around the Thoughtseize. Not playing the fetch lands earlier, punishing me a little bit here because I'm gonna want to play Flagstones here. That's pretty good. All right. Now I'm feeling okay about my current position. This is why you need an Uro. Uro just like destroys your mana a little bit past what's worth, if that makes sense. One opponent decided in rest in peace. I don't know. Oh, you were not being serious? Okay. You have to use the kappa punt. Otherwise it's confusing. I'm blocking, 100% blocking. Suck this. Good planes. The reason I'm tanking here is because Flagstones gets me up on mana, but it doesn't actually get me closer to triggering field. So I think I'm just gonna get field here. Is this Celestia deck? Yep. Straight up green white. Nothing else. So I guess the correct line is actually to play the first fetch, then play the Dryad, and then we play the second fetch land. And now we play around the removal spell, because we can force the action. Remember when my opponent played Alpine Moon against me? So now if they attempt to removal, we just fetch and we kill them. Yeah, that Dryad top deck was pretty good. Again, the story of that game was basically my opponent did a bunch of things, but they didn't kill me, and B, they didn't answer my Reclaimer. So we ended up just like taking over eventually because we have a better late game that they do. So if we don't die by like turn 5 or something, then we're probably not losing. Some message on you watch Twitch while you grade. Nice. That's a nice little multitasking there. All right, 3 and 2. Your bread and butter, good old bread and butter finish. So 106.48. We're still above 66% win rate, which is nice, but it's definitely going down. Dark Saga. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second. I think I want to play a league with the non-violent list, kind of to get a feel for it more than anything else. But yeah, I mean, this 75 it's okay. It feels like there's something. I haven't cracked what it is yet. I haven't cracked what it is just yet, but it feels like there's something that I could be doing. It feels like there's something that I could be doing in order to fix those matchups that are problematic. I don't know what it is. Can't quite pinpoint what it is that I'm missing here. But yeah, it's gonna be it for this league. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.